Hi, I'm Eveleen. I'm autistic, and when I was a little girl, I didn't talk much not because I didn't have anything to say, but because talking felt like climbing a mountain with no map. The words were there. I just couldn't always get them out. Instead, I found other ways to communicate, ways that made sense to me. I flapped my hands when I was happy. I spun in circles when I was overwhelmed. I lined up toys by color, stared at ceiling fans, and repeated sounds or jingles that felt calming, like soft blankets for my brain. To others, it looked strange. So many times I heard, "Eveleen, stop doing that. You're being weird. Why can't you just act normal?" But what they didn't know was that I needed those things. The world was loud, chaotic, unpredictable. Those small, repetitive actions my stims made me feel safe, made me feel like I had control, even when everything else felt out of my control. Fact, autistic children often engage in stimming repetitive behaviors like rocking, flapping, or repeating words to calm their nervous system or express emotions. It's not bad behavior, it's a survival strategy. Sometimes, people thought I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't looking at them, but eye contact felt like a spotlight on my brain. It didn't mean I wasn't listening, it just meant I was trying really hard to cope. Fact, autistic people often avoid eye contact, not out of rudeness, but because it can be overwhelming or even physically uncomfortable. The hardest part wasn't just being misunderstood. It was being unable to explain why I did what I did. I remember being so full of emotion and having no way to say it. It felt like being underwater, seeing people speak above me, but not being able to rise up and reach them. I wanted to say, "This helps me. This feels good. Please don't take this away from me." But I didn't have the words, so I stayed quiet and felt invisible. Fact, around 30–40% of autistic children are minimally or non-speaking, but that doesn't mean they don't have thoughts, feelings, or deep awareness of what's going on around them. If you're reading this as a parent, teacher, or caregiver, please remember this. Before you stop a child from doing something that looks odd, take a moment and ask, are they hurting anyone? Or are they just trying to feel okay in their own skin? Let them stim. Let them repeat. Let them be. Because sometimes the kindest, most respectful thing you can do for an autistic child is to accept their way of being, even if you don't fully understand it yet. I'm Eveleen. I couldn't always speak, but I've always had something to say. Thank you for listening.